Welcome everybody. Hey ya, are we on? Let me check. As usual, I think we're good. Welcome everybody. Welcome to the first dev stream again for after the holiday. Let's go make some gray boxes for wrench. I noticed that my monitoring is still on. That's really annoying because I hear myself double. Yes, that is better. I finally have new headphones, by the by. Check them out, better than the crusty old ones. That doesn't matter. Let's get into making some gray boxes, shall we? Yes. Everyone watching, do you know what a gray box is? I think so, right? So it's like the first stages of a level. Here I have one of the gray boxes that I did for one of the levels called the demolition floor. Let's just play through it. Why not? Oh wait, I'll do that. I'll do that in a second. Hey, welcome everyone. Welcome. I'll play through it in a second because what I wanna show you guys, I think we're gonna do the Triton's Reach tunnel. Because I usually start off with something like this, just to sort of give an idea for how long a level would take, right? So if you play through this, it is, well, basically this. It is nothing. It is just a road. So this needs to be filled in with actual platforming stuff and environmental stuff and stuff like that. But I do stuff like this to sort of get a rough idea of how everything will play out, how long it will take for me to go through something like this. So if I were to like walk all the way through the end, let me do some debugging right here. You know, if I would make it all the way through the end, then the time of this level will be around 4 minutes. So I know that roughly like walking from one end to the map to the end of the map will take 4 minutes. And what I do then is I fill it in with, I don't know, basically random gray boxes. So and when I make a gray box, I want to think about so like what's the visual theme of the level. So like for the foundry level that we were just watching, the demolition floor, well, this is basically inside a factory, right? So it has gears and it has conveyors, or at least it will have conveyors, because basically in this stage there's no interaction yet. So everything is plain as can be, but it's about blocking out, getting a sense of flow. Usually a next step from this is I would actually color sections of the level. So what I would do, I have this scalable, no, scale up, scalable, scaling, oh, I'm sorry. I have like these scaling materials that come with Pro Builder. For instance, like this section right here, this is actually a exploration section, so there's not really something hazardous here. It's just basically art, perhaps some collectibles, getting some stuff, so it would color that blue. Same as here. This is actually then, if I go and do this, then I would have to do it differently. And this is all like super rough, right? Nothing is final, because this part of the level actually is hazardous, but this part is like exploration, just as this section. There is also an exploration section right here. Right, so now I have some blue colors in here, and I can see within the flow of the level, if I play through it, I can see, you know, how the pacing is. That's the word I was trying to come up with. How the pacing is, right? Oh, this is also like exploration. This is actually the start of the level. And then I might do stuff like, let me check out red. So here we have some dangerous things. This is now one giant beam, but I also want to have some dangerous stuff right here. This area is actually quite dangerous. Oh, not per se the stairs, but well, you get the idea. I wasn't actually going to do this right now, but well, might as well sort of finish it. The idea is these are crushers and these are conveyor belts, so they are of course also quite dangerous. Don't necessarily have to color in like everything. This is just a transitional area, so these will start spinning. I could actually, I believe, do it like this, right? Yeah. And then here is sort of a goal, so that is green would be stuff where collectibles are, like important collectibles, like this is obviously the entrance and the exit of the level, so that would also get green, and there also needs to be a part in here. I'm actually not really sure where in my mind I had placed that part, but that is fine. And so when you color it in like this, you get sort of a flow, an idea of the pacing of the level, right? So you would start in here, and then you would know, all right, so this is like, here I'm exploring, and I'm looking around, and I don't even know what these blocks are yet. I can imagine there's some form of silo or whatever. And then here these things will turn, but they actually do not turn right now. So this is just like getting an idea of a flow of the level, like basically a gray box. And the next stage up from this would be like actually implementing the conveyor belts and the turning and the twisting things. And so here you would have stuff to do, perhaps with dropping platforms or breaking stuff. And we'll go through. Oh. So now you know, all right, so now I'm walking. What I was gonna say is this level is actually a little bit different than the other levels, because this level does not have any combat. And now I know what you're going to say if you've watched my previous devlog. I know. But this was supposed to be more of a precision platforming type of level, a bit of a mix-up of what the player has been doing up until this point, right? So it has been a lot of combat. I want to talk about it, but I also don't want to spoil too much, if you get what I mean. You can actually cancel the roll, but I always forget. And the roll and the bounce and the double jump still work in progress, by the way, guys. I'm making it a Souls-like. You can have a dodge roll, right? If it's a Souls-like. Well, getting to play through it like this gives you quite the idea of how the level will play, how big it is. And now, of course, I am rushing through. I've been at it for only 2 minutes, and I know where to go. Boom. So now I'm at the end. Well, it doesn't really matter. We're going to make something like this. Well, not finish it because it took quite some time. This is actually version 3.0, if you want to know. Oh, that right here. I also still have like the length layout, right? So it started with this, and then I started filling it in, and it actually turned out a little bit bigger, a little bit different. If you look at it like this, see, it sort of has roughly the same idea. And the idea actually with this level is, what I want to do is, so this is a factory, and it is Carly's mission to sort of turn back on power in the factory. So you will start here, and then you will basically walk your way to the core, and then as soon as you've turned it on, you have to make your way back, and then everything is active, and all the traps and conveyors are moving, and gears are grinding, and stuff is shooting at you and falling down and doing stuff like that. So yeah, so that's basically the idea of this. So this, you're basically going to walk this twice, and I would love it if, like, at the first playthrough, like right, it's all dark, and you perhaps only have a torch or a flashlight or something, and then it's all, you know, it looks super abandoned and spooky, and then after you've turned it on, it's all buzzing and crushers going everywhere. So you basically do it one time and then do it in reverse. All right, but this is it's greybox 3. I also have one over here. Shh. I'll show you this one real quick. I moved the... Wait, let me do it. I moved the spawn point, of course. Let me... Where do I spawn? Wait, where am I? Oh, I'm all the way at the end. Wait. So this has some things I was trying out in it. So let me show you guys. One thing I really liked is that I made these platformers on these boxes. These boxes on these conveyors, which I thought were really funny. And they actually get thrown down and crushed in this giant crusher, which obviously you do not need to end it. But this was like one of the first... it was more to show some of the elements that I want to have in these levels. So these turning gears. Where do we need to go? Oh, I need to go here. Right, like stuff like this. Oh no! Not today. When she gets crushed, it's actually really funny. I don't know. Thought it was funny. All right. So let's go make something different. Let's not do this. I did change the colors, right? Would be nice to keep the colors. Okay. Oh. Unity giving me my well-needed break. Thank you, Unity. All right. 2.5D game. Yes, it sort of is. It sort of is. At points. What were we going? Oh yeah, yeah. So we're gonna do Triton's Reach, and we're gonna do one of the tunnels. We also have like a main building. I can show you guys that as well. So this is supposed to be like a underground subway station, metro station. Is there a difference between a metro and a subway, or is it just a different language? So here you would go into one tunnel, and then down here, there's some characters down here as well. You can go down one level, and there's another platform here, and there's actually a boat here. And if you, let's not go into the level loader. If you go through this tunnel after you've beaten and done some stuff in the other tunnel, you can go to the entrance. And so now your mission is to go to this tunnel and turn back on the water to flood the tunnel so you can take the boat. Now, this is the level we're going to make a start with. I'm not sure if we can finish today, but we can make a good head start, right? And yes, you are right. That this would be more of a 2.5D game and level and feel. And if we look at this one, all right, let's open that one. Did we change anything here? I'm not sure why Unity keeps asking me if I change stuff. I did not change anything, right? Just gonna say no. So I figured this would be a fun configuration, I think. I'm gonna see how that goes. And then at the end of this level there is a boss fight, and I got really inspired by the boss fight at the end of Kirby, the Forgotten Lands. Kirby and the Forgotten Lands? Yeah, it's Kirby and the Forgotten Lands. Spoilers! Is there anyone watching who didn't play it and doesn't want any spoilers? Well, it doesn't really matter, but at the end there is a lion goo thing boss, and that one comes at you while you go through a hallway. And I figured that would actually be a really good ending through this, to this level, to do sort of the same with a giant tunnel digging worm-like drilling thing. And the theme of this level is blasting and bomb enemies. So enemies will throw you bombs, will throw bombs at you and other projectiles, and there are little critters called blast beetles which basically run around or skitter around like, and as soon as they touch you they explode and do contact damage. So that is sort of the theme here, and I am working on, well, let me see if I can drop it in. How did I call it? Launchable? Yes, I called it a launchable bomb. Here it is, and it's looking like nothing yet, and it isn't working quite as I would like it to be, but the idea is that your directional stick, the direction that you're walking, and as soon as you hit it, you can actually sort of lob this bomb to where you want it to go. Ooh! And if you wait too long or don't hit it, then it will explode. And this will also sort of be the way that you destroy the boss, because the boss will also drop these projectiles, and you can slash them into its mouth, her mouth. I think it's going to be a mom worm. And so you can sort of play with these things. I don't necessarily like the physics of the bomb yet. It feels a little bit floaty, sort of. Ooh, boom. Which I don't necessarily like, but, you know, I gotta mess with that stuff. Alright. What? Oh, I selected this sphere. Yeah, let's get into it. The way I like to... No, it doesn't matter. I like using Pro Builder, which, if you don't know, is a plugin for Unity, made by Unity, I believe. And it is basically a mesh creation tool, and you can create all sorts of stuff like arches and adjust everything about them. Also the thickness, right? Yeah. Stuff like that, and you can I'll create stairs and all sorts of Lex. Stairs and all sorts of other meshes, and then you can do even very weird stuff with them, like you can boolean them, and well, you could do all sorts of stuff. Right, you could boolean them. Oh, but I think that was like, oh, those are still debug features, or like experimental features. I'm not like really sure how they called it, but you could do all sorts of cool stuff, like introduce edge loops. Where's my edge loops? Oh wait, I need to like select two edges, and then I can subdivide edge. No, it's not subdivide. I don't do that a lot, but I keep forgetting where it is. Where is it? Make edge loop. Edge loop. Insert edge loop. Ah, there it is. And then you can manipulate this whole thing and basically create meshes any way you want. You can also extrude them and build all sorts of crazy stuff, which is basically awesome if you're creating a platformer, or any game actually for that matter, because you can sort of model in Unity. You could actually take these gray boxes, export them to Blender, and use them as the base of your model, which is actually really cool, because then you have immediately the right proportions and stuff like that. But we are not going to do that today. So, a old metro tunnel. Excuse me. So the idea is that you walk in from this side, which, if you think back to like the main hub area of Triton's Reach, you were upstairs, right, walking into the tunnel. Then you should come out of this side. I like the idea of there being some water sections in this as well. I'm actually going to make a new folder. Just call this one the gray box, so I can keep this. Not really sure yet how I'm going to do like the exterior of like the tunnel wall, but I have been looking at some images of metro tunnels, old abandoned metro tunnels, and I think because there are a lot of enemies with explosives in these tunnels, I want to have a lot of rubbish and things falling down, as well as like an environmental hazard, but those also create platforms right away, right? So perhaps a piece of concrete from the top might drop down, or I don't know, all sorts of stuff, right? And I can also imagine that there are like subway carts in here. Oh, that's the stairs. Oh, there will also be stairs, but that there will be like subway carts. I actually have to check what the size of something like this would be. 55, 3. So Carly can jump. I always forget this, so I have to. I believe Carly can jump on a block that is 3 units high. With a normal jump? Yeah. So a double jump, or at least like a properly timed is not the good word, but my oh wait, let's do it here. Nope, this one. Oh, reset the shape. I am sorry, why is this one the same? Looks the same. It's really confusing. Like my jump is, you call it variable. So if you press like the A button longer, you will jump higher. Yeah, so she can jump on a double one. So if we make like a train cart that she can run over, and now it is 9 units high, so she cannot jump on top of it, so she would have to get something else. And Is there an echo? I don't know. Is there an echo? A slight echo. Oh. There is an echo. This should turn off the echo. Does it? That's actually super weird. But now I cannot hear myself as much as I used to do. Let me know, Profound, if the echo is gone. Thanks for giving me the heads up. So when I'm greyboxing stuff like this, I actually like to think about the art already a little bit. So let's say that this is a Metro card. I actually like the idea of there being like a couple of Metro cards here where you have to walk over to get to the other side. Then there might actually be a piece of debris here somewhere or next to here where you can go on. And you know, I don't have a plan at this point. No echo now. Ah, awesome. I actually need to lock that one. So let's put the cubes in here. So actually kind of like the idea of, you know, having art. And normally when I would make something like this, I would perhaps like slightly skew it. That's not what we're about right now. We're just about making something, yeah, so it can get on top of here. So it's a little bit about flow, right? So I think this block is a little bit too close to here to be really nice. And then you would, I don't know, if you missed that one, you could come up here. Yeah, I like that. And so you could actually already thinking about like it could have some enemies on top of these, since they have like bombs, right? They're throwing bombs down, stuff like that. So you could actually like go around here, but then you will get like barraged with bombs. So you would have to go up here and like destroy them, stuff like that. I like the idea of this being 2 railway cards. But I do think they need to be a bit bigger, I think. Yeah, first jump. And so at this point it's all about flow, right? So this jump just doesn't feel nice. Yeah, and this one should be like this, and this one should be like that because they're like crashed railway cards, right? Now, I have no idea what this is. This could also, that might also be nice. That this is still part of the of a platform, right? So metro stations have like a platform. Why is it midair? Oh, that's interesting. Doesn't it detect if it is in the correct space right now? Yes. So that's interesting. So if I lock this layer, it doesn't get recognized by ProBuilder. Well. Let's make this 4. So this would look like an abandoned platform. I think that's actually really nice. So there's sort of this way to the side. And I'm going to be playing this a lot, right? Can I actually... Oh, she can actually jump on top of 4 without double jumping. That is nice. So you have to do some battle on top of the cards. Actually, if I want to have some battle on top of the cards, I think I want to make them a little bit wider. So just... what is that? Is that the 8? Yeah. Let's make them 12 wide. We'll just have like ridiculously wide Metro cards. Why not? Maybe 10 should be fine. 10? Just to, you know, have combat be a little bit easier. So there's a platform right here. One thing I can imagine, which I actually think would be nice, if this sort of was a so that this is actually tunnel C or something, but that it caved in, right? So it's blocked off at this point. So coming back to it, like with the materials scaling, it was apparently. You could actually. Oh wait, I only assigned it to one of the. Oh, you could actually have a little bit of exploration here, right? So the player will need to go like this way, because this way is obviously blocked. Perhaps there's even some more crashed railway carts over here. A bit more natural. So you cannot go that way, right? But perhaps there might be a collectible over here. So you would think like, oh, right, so this is actually the tunnel that you're in. You could go here, and then you get to the end. Perhaps here's some more combat, blah, blah, blah. You're like, all right, so I have to take this offshoot. And this might be like a sort of a maintenance tunnel. So this one could actually be a bit smaller. But since I want to have some combat right here, I think it's fine like this. And one thing that we could actually do is signal this being a different area with somewhat of a raised floor. I can actually do stairs here. Huh. It's floating in the air again. Why is it floating? And that's also new, that when you Control Z. Oh, now it is on the floor, but it's the stairs. This actually doesn't have to be like a big area, but for like in-game, I think it's actually nice to have the stairs, to have like a platform. Like the way I imagine this, it's like a door inside of a tunnel, right, that you pass when you're in the subway. You sometimes see those, like those coves, right, at the side of a track. Like there might even be a door on top of here, right? The why? Yeah, like that. And then what I meant is like there might actually, well, not be a stairs right over there, but be a block, right? Something like this. And then because we are looking at it from this way, then we might actually in final want to do something like this, just because that shows the stairs a little bit better. Alright, so I'm not worrying about combat, but I'm thinking about it. So here you will have some combat. Here you can actually get up the stairs. And then you go into this tunnel. So there might actually be a wall blocking this off, but as soon as you like enter through here, that wall might disappear. Plons. I said plons. Plunge. Plunge. I don't know. What's the word you guys have for when you fall into the water? Splash. Splash? Splash. Plons. Plons is like the Dutch word for splash, I guess. Splash? I like there to be toxic water here. I think that would be a nice addition. There could actually also be some combat right here. And there might even be... So one of the things that I would actually really like, as I was playing with that, like that launchable bomb, I was also thinking about like in one of the main hubs having like a ball and a volleyball net or something like that to play with that. Launchable bomb. But that sort of gave me the idea that these bots would hurl these projectiles at you. But you could, of course, also hit them back, right? So I'm actually not sure if this is something that is going to work, but let me test this out. So let's say there's a bot over there, and you would actually hit it like that, and it would explode. I actually think that is rather funny. That actually worked way better than I expected. Like, doing stuff like that in this level, I would think that is 2 out of 2. You know, that might actually also blow up this wall or something. I also want to have like the player demolition stuff in this level as well, right? So have like a puzzle that I'm playing with is that at some point there's this blockade, and you have to bring in a couple of enemies with those launchable bombs and sort of clear the way. I actually really like this. I'm going to do it again. Let's see if we can go 3, 4. Oh. Ah! I like the idea of that. I wonder what would happen if I remove this one. I think it will overshoot, right? And it is sort of way. I do believe I made it like react to how far you push your stick. So if your stick is all the way out, then it will go, yeah. So it will go further if your stick is all the way out. But you know, that is, I need to tweak with stuff like this. So that was like no stick. It's basically all or nothing. Yeah, so it is really nice to know that if I have like a small wall over here, perhaps I can have like a small ridge or something. Well, I would have to sort of play with that. But I like the idea of this part of the tunnel, like at the start right away, being sort of leaking because of all the explosions, and there's water coming down, and there's toxic water here at the bottom. Yeah, I think that would be really nice. Well, so we could have like floating platforms here that might actually be sort of what the whole platforming thing is. I like the idea of having one large, oh, that's very large, one like larger space where there are some enemies like in the middle. Perhaps it is actually as wide as this area, so that you also have like a resting area. Oh no, if these platforms are like floating, then they should be like a level with the water, I guess, so they should be lower. I like the idea of something here throwing bombs at you, and the bombs might actually also end up like in the water, but that might also have some effects on you. So the way I usually make platforms is judging if you can only double jump there and not double jump dash. Like the double jump dash will of course make everything a lot more easier, but I do see it as like a pro thing. So these platforms are a bit far away. Well, they're easy if you like double jump dash. You can actually get back, but can you get back with a normal double jump? I don't think so. I'm not sure if that's a good thing or not. So you could get back. I think I'm going to make it a little bit more squished in. So I have something like this. So here we're going to turn a corner. So these will be floating on water. Perhaps I think it should be a bit longer, maybe. And one of them might drop away after like a little while. Perhaps they might all sink. Perhaps that is fun. If they're like platforms in toxic water, and if you stand on them too long, they won't just sink to the bottom. I kind of like that. And so maybe this area will have, this might be a natural corner for things. We might actually bring back those stairs. And I'm also not concerned with naming everything or doing everything nicely. This is not the moment for that. This is the moment for coming up with ideas, coming up with oh, is this one higher? That is weird. Well, we'll just move. That is actually really weird. Where's my other stairs floating? Is it? It is actually not that much. I do like some, wow, some consistency. I would place those things here. They should be placed a little bit better though. So, now if we go through here, so there will be enemies here right away. So this area will then be clear. So here you have some exploration. Maybe there's some storytelling here, like what happened in this tunnel. Learn a little bit about the people that used to live here. All right, so then you go up here. There'll be some enemies. Wow, will there be enemies? I don't know. Perhaps there's a door here that you have to break down. That might be nice. There will be some... I think it would be nice to have a little run-in with... Perhaps if you break down a door here, you will have a run-in with like these blast beetles that sort of walk towards you and have contact damage. That might actually be cool. So you have a platforming section here where you need to be rather fast. Gray on gray is a bit hard to see. I get that. Also on stream? Yeah, I think so. For me, it's even... Well, but I'm getting old. I'm getting old and I'm getting blind. I do like the idea of maybe having a shortcut here. So that might be a thing, right? I like doing stuff like that as well. So maybe this one is, when we look at it in top view, this one might be a little bit more here. But there's like a small, well, that is really small. But like a small barrel or something like right here. It might be a little bit further down. And there might be another one like right here. I think that's the distance. Which if you want to do like normal double jumps, you like double jump. Hello everyone, hello. like double jump. Ooh, these are still a bit far away, I feel. But then if you're like a pro or a speedrunner, you can go like jump, dash. Oh, they can even be further. Right? So you have some smaller platforms, but they are more difficult. That one's actually pretty fine. This one should be a bit farther down. And then I actually want to go over to that one. So you could like skip. So this one might be here. This one might be here. Like so. These might be a little bit over there. I think we'll skip combat over here. But what I want to do then is I want to I think I want to shorten that. Do it more like this. And then have room for combat over here. So then we'll have like a giant fight over here. And we'll have to think about this area because you with the bomb squad, you want to have some difference in height, I think. So this one will be shorter. So you have the normal route, like so. So, yeah, so that feels good. But then you also have the pro route, which should be faster. Oh, can I actually make that? Yes, you can. If you believe you can. I am now noticing that Carly's drop shadow or blob shadow is gone. That is because, yeah, this one's... I hate the fact that they do that, right? So if you have a decal projector in your level and your game object is on invisible, it hides the... See? Because now she has a blob shadow. Like, why? It hides, like, the decal projectors. It's like a weird bug. Oh, jumped in right away. Yeah, so that's cool. I like that. It saves you like one jump, right? And it's a bit faster. Ooh. Because here you actually don't want to dash because it sort of feels a bit jarring. Or you should single jump dash. Ah! I don't know, but I like different paths, right? Even if you're not going to make it, not going to use it, there might actually be drops on here as well. Like if you're not doing the double jump dash, that you can go like this. I like that idea. Maybe what I want to do here is have like a high platform. That I think is actually could be pretty cool. So I have like a platform that is up in the air, unreachable by foot. By jumping, by foot. Listen to me, ramble. With enemies on top of here, throwing stuff down, that might actually be really cool. And then there would be something here. Perhaps a stack of big old boxes or something that Carly could use to get up there. To be spaced a little bit more. Something like this, because you should imagine... Where am I going with my navigation? You should imagine... Wow, that's really difficult to see. But there's like a giant wall here, of course. Actually throughout this whole section, right? So not only here, but here as well. Grow, little one, grow. Right? Because it's like a tunnel wall. Oh, that actually... There's so much cool stuff you could do. What we actually could do is we could also have like a platform or a piece of the platform extending out and having Carly be bombarded from the top. Oh, that might actually be really cool. Oh, This is underneath here. I do like the use of double jump, jump, jump. Like, I always like a certain flow in my jumps. I don't like stopping. I like if you can, by utilizing all the different jumps that you have, right? So I have the jump, double jump, dash, jump, dash. Like when you know when to use something like, yeah, I like the flow of this, but I do not like the fact that it's, so I like the idea of extending this. I don't know. I don't know what's happening. Now I can't see anything. I can see there's a platform over here. So let's say from this platform on, you're going to get bombarded. Oh yeah, that one's like totally underneath. So something like this. And this might be a rail, or it might be something like this. Does that work with the platforms? Not really, because if this is like a floating raft thing, then it should be a bit more here. And then, of course, like in a later stage, what we could do is like we could add stuff like we could add a platform like right here. And then have one right here, right? With a prize on it. So those are nice things, I think, which are nice to have. So when you're platforming here, you can like spot, you can see that there's a platform there. Oh, sorry, guys. Let me play maximized for you. Like there is a platform over there, right? But how do we get to it? I don't know. Oh, later on. Oh, there's all sorts of enemies. Let's kick their butt. I think I want to make it a bit wider than if we're going to kick butt on this one. Yeah. Especially because I want to do... Can I actually... From here? Yes. So you would have to kick butt if you want to get all that material, and then you have to do some backtracking, and kabloom! Now I am on here getting that extra collectible or whatever. I will leave it right there. I don't think I need it right now. So I do have to think about areas in which I want to have combat a little bit. Like I said earlier, this is one of those areas I want to have combat. So I'm actually going to reset that shape. 20. I don't know. Oh wait, it's moving up. That's not that handy. I think this should be fine. Now I should move those back. And with stuff like this, I will add like... Where am I drawing for? I will add like something like a handrail to this. So that is fine, but that's not for now. So I think this is already like an interesting area, right? So we have some... When we enter this tunnel, we have some combat right here. We get introduced to the fact that if we walk by, we get bombarded with stuff from the top. We have a little bit of exploration right from the top. Right over here, perhaps there's... I had this idea that in this tunnel, so you get to like the main subway station, right? Which is Triton's Reach, because it's a submerged subway station. And you fight a bunch of bots over there, and they have been having tremors and stuff like that, because that is, of course, the enemies that are dropping bombs throughout all the tunnels. But it's like a submerged metro station, right? So you get in here. Wow, guys, I totally forgot the point that I was trying to make. What was I talking about? It's a submerged station. I think that's where I was going. So there's water down here, and you also need to reinstate the water flow so that you can take the boat through one of the subway tunnels to the factory. That's, I think, where I was going. So we have some water here, and we have some leaking stuff because of all the bombs. Of course, things have been broken. Hey, did I change the positioning of that one? Oh, that one should actually be a bit more forward. Hey, thanks, Chris. Is this the tutorial level? No, Chris, this is not the tutorial level. This is actually one of the levels which is further down. But we're making a block out. And I think it's a good practice that in each level you sort of slowly introduce all the concepts that you're trying to convey to the players. And this is like the first time they run into some new enemies and some new behaviors. So, well, actually, it is sort of a tutorial level. These platforms are really thick. They are chunky. It might even be a bit lower so that you can really see them well. All right, so then we go over here. Now, I think this section is proper. Let me test out if I can still reach that one. Yes, I can, which I think is nice. Oh, let me go. Chip, 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 chip. Ah! This one should be closer by. Yeah. And then we go down here. And here, all sorts of stuff happens. So... welcome everyone. Lix Movies asks if I'm using Cinemachine or did I code my cam myself. I am actually... Wait, where's my cam? I am actually using Cinemachine, yes, but I'm using a lot of different Cinemachine cameras and switching between them back and forth and stuff like that. It's not really something that I need to do here, but I don't know how long you've been watching, but like in Triton's Reach main area, I have some low areas where I switch back to a different cam from a lower perspective. So yeah, no, Cinemachine, big fan of Cinemachine. I guess everything has its drawbacks, right? Like that. Did we move this one up? Yeah. All right. So now one thing that I should do is move. Well, not press caps lock. Did I move all of this into my gray box? And I should move my spawn point up. I could also duplicate it and turn off that one. Theoretically, that should work. Yes. So now we start over here, so I don't have to skip that whole thing. Those are just small things that I sometimes forget to do, right? So I'm making this gray box and I'm having all these cool ideas and I forget to do stuff like that. And then before I know it, I'm replaying the whole level like 25 minutes back and forth just to test one area. I did make some debug tools, right? So I can move Carly up and down freely throughout the level and place her anywhere I want to. But even so, it still takes time. So my idea is that in this level there's also a bigger enemy. So enemies in the game are broken down in three categories. Like I have small, medium, and heavy. Should be small, medium, and large. Whatever. Enemies. So the small enemies are like in this the blast beetles. And there's another one I forgot, and there's like this medium enemy which is throwing those big bombs that we were showing earlier, and then there's one giant sort of flying drone which shoots homing missiles or something like that. I'm not really sure, but I think this is the place that I want to introduce that enemy. So what I actually want to do is sort of make a, well, almost like a, how do you call that? Like a paintball. Let me look that up. A paintball arena, like the outdoor professional paintball competitions. Can I show something like that? Yeah, something like this, right? Something like this. So there's like places to hide from other people shooting, and there's like platforms to jump on. Basically, a little bit feeling like this. I also really love this. Oh man, I've only been like paintballing once or twice, but you know, seeing something like this, I'm like, oh, that would be amazing. This is my jam. Actually, last year with a work thing, we went laser gaming, laser tag, I think is what it's called, in a forest. It was amazing. It was absolutely amazing. Not only because I won, I'm sorry for bragging, but that's my thing, right? So, but nevertheless, I want to make something like that, right? Because it makes the player move around. They could dodge like the projectiles and the homing missiles coming in. They could also use it to jump on top, to jump up in the air to take the drone out, stuff like that. So let's just make something. Let's make it a little bit higher than this. So this is actually, looking at it, perhaps like 8. So Carly could jump 4 or 3. Let's make him 11 tall. Let's make him small. Well, let's not make him too small. I think at one point I believed that like 10 by 10, that would sort of be the base for a good platform. I am going to for my and your viewing pleasure. Oh wait, this is a length gray box, right? Let's make everything in that white. Yeah, that's better. So now I can actually see the boxes that I'm dropping. Oh. Can I get up here? I can, right? It's perhaps a bit far away. It's a little bit far away. So these will be like the starting pillars. And I'm not sure if I want to make this like symmetrical or not. Perhaps I'll start with something symmetrical. One thing I do need to take into account is that these will be like the walls, right? So if I put them like right here, like gameplay wise and art wise, there will be like a giant wall here. So if I put them over here, they will be a little bit too crammed to the side. And this is what I'm rolling with right now, right? So everything might change still. But I did really like the idea. Well, this is not center at all. I really like the idea of having like projectiles in cramped spaces, you know, because of the blast radius and because of, I don't know, sort of the claustrophobic feeling that it would give. I'm doing that on purpose. Might not work out so great. It might actually be terrible to play, but we'll see it. We'll see when we get there. I think I am going to make these things a bit smaller anyway. I believe, yep. One thing I might do, but that might be... So the way I'm thinking right now, what might actually be a good challenge. No, let's say these are here. This one's a bit further down. So I might actually have a block over here as well, which is a bit further down. So this is like an area where you need to battle that giant drone, right? This might actually be a good connection. Perhaps I also want to do it like that. Like so. So that it feels more connected. Yeah, so the idea that if you want to, because you cannot, or at least I hope you cannot, jump on here, or can you? Oh, you can actually. Well, that was the idea, that you couldn't, so that after you've dodged the missile, killed some blast beetles over here. I'm actually thinking sort of Doom style, having the blast beetles, which are like small critters critting around, and as soon as they touch you, they explode. Oh yeah, this has become a difficult jump. Have them come out of nests or pipes, just like in Doom, like they have these spawning nests, right? Well, it's in a lot of games, but I remember it from Doom. So these have become rather difficult. That's perhaps a bit too precise. And you cannot even make it. Well, or can you? But that's the idea, right? So that you can fall down here, but you have to retreat this, and you have to boom, destroy the drone, because it, and then you have to get back. Ooh. These are too precise for the back view. And you can make it, of course. Of course you can make it. What you gonna do? What you gonna do? No, they were 11, right? 10. Reset those shapes. But now I feel they are too big. No, because it's like the width that's challenging, or the length, something like this. This might be better. I can move this whole thing up a bit. Well, maybe it should be centered then. I could also have these extend to the side, like making them sort of bridge pieces. That might actually be nice. Something like this. No, because I want the open area, right? Because there's also going to be like more enemies. And I'm at this point I am too I'm nitpicking. This is not the time for this. This is a time for sort of coming up with rough ideas, feeling like, this is actually quite a nice flow. I have just been sort of precision platforming here in this area with the water, and I had to do some timing. I actually had a little extra exploration by going back. I do feel this might be a bit too far. I'm gonna keep it for now. This might be too far. At least too far for not anything happening. Wait, let me fix that really quick. Because although I do feel, that's of course always a balance, right? It's a balancing act. You don't want to make your game too short, right? And have people be done with it in 10 minutes. But nobody likes having a 50-minute walk, right? Just to get a collectible. So you need to have something to do, right? So there will be bots on top of this thing, throwing stuff down, but I will also make some gaps in it. Just so that when you get on top of it, so you also have to like Do a little jump here, do a little jump here. You know, it is something to do. And now, all of a sudden, it's basically the same length because I did nothing different. But now, because I have to do some jumps, it actually feels fine. And I don't have that feeling of, oh, this is actually rather big walk. A big walk. It's a big walk. I do like the lengthwise platforms. All right. Where is my drink? Well, that's 1 hour in. But. To be honest, this is actually shaping up pretty well. Stop clipping my camera. So this is toxic water. Let me actually, before I forget that, demonetized. Oh, it's not even monetized. All right, let's do toxic water. Yeah, that's better. So now I know that is toxic water, the green stuff, because this is not toxic water. This is just broken pillars or something like that. That might actually be nice, like making the level to have a detail of actual pillars going up like this. Not sure why. That sort of links these together, right? Maybe even so. Show that these once were pillars. These once were pillars. I could actually, if this section might prove too difficult, I could actually have one of the pillars be sort of fallen off. That's a bit too big, I feel. Like have one of the pillars be a ramp onto here or something. Not saying I want to, but I could, right? So that also, if you dropped off, that might actually be pretty cool, because story-wise, it tells a cool story, and gameplay-wise, it's actually, if you fall down, you can actually get up here and then go that way, so you don't have to walk back after you've defeaten the drone. That might actually be nice. So this might be an area where there's, oh yeah, well this is of course sucky. I can fix that of course with bounds and stuff like that, but I can actually get up there. I shouldn't be able to, so I'll make it a little bit higher. Like I said at the beginning, one of the environmental traps that I want to have is like falling debris. Debris? Oh no, it's Deborah. Deborah! Wait, why am I not making this jump? So that is one of the things that I'm looking for right now. Even when I'm half-assing it, I want to at least make some of the jumps. So I think I want to have some falling stuff here. It might actually be nice. Ooh, that might. Since we're all right. Let's roll with it. Let's roll with it. So since we have this, let's roll with it. Let's roll with it. Let's make this like something, an area like this, right? So now when you go through. And you walk through here and you have stuff falling down. You need to dodge it. Oh my god, stuff's falling. I like that. And you can... Oh, that might actually be sort of a cool cinematic piece, right? So this one goes through, and it's actually one giant tunnel, which goes something like this. All right. Indulge me here, right? So this phase is also about ideating. Ideating? Yeah, that's what it's called, right? Ideation. I'm not really sure they need to be this tall. How tall are they? I don't know. Maybe give it a little bit more space. That might actually be nice. A little bit more space to maneuver. Something like that. So one thing I could do... No. Let me just copy this. Copy that. Copy this. Copy that. Yeah, so that is here. So we're going another floor up. I actually kind of like that. Yeah. It's not exactly, but it doesn't have to be exact. So the idea would be that you would see like this straight ahead. But there's like this debris falling down, and you would have to like dodge and go to the left. So you're like going up here. It's like, debris. Oh my god. And then this sort of all caves in, and you have to go back. And then you go in here. And the camera here we need to fix. So you go, whoa. Almost made it, but for now, let me just delete this one. Does that work? Yeah, that sort of works. So you're here, you're like, oh my god, there's this big drone firing stuff at me. I killed it. Things are shaking, right? There's things falling down, debris. And you go here. Perhaps you even skip this because there's a collectible here. But then, oh no, this all caves in. And I have to run. And now this area is blocked off. And I can only go here. Now I'm on the next floor. I kind of like that idea. Hey, all of you watching, if you guys have any ideas, like you're watching and you're like, oh, it would be really cool if you then did this or did that, drop it in the chat. I'd love to hear everyone's ideas. I'm never saying I'm going to do anything with them, but I love hearing them. Yeah, well, this is just a bit of a stand in the way at this point, so that doesn't really matter. I think it is time for some more toxic water. I think that would be nice. So the idea is that this water kills you instantly. That would be my idea. Perhaps it's like all the way down here. So now we sort of bring all the threats together, right? So we had like an introduction with some of the enemies. We had an introduction with the water. We had some introduction with a different enemy. We had some introduction with some falling stuff. And now we're going to bring it all together. So we're going to have bots, killable water. Killable water? I'm going to kill you, water! Poisonous water. Venomous water. No, poisonous water, bots, and, you know, anything. Ooh, Lixmove said, I think it would be really shocking if the pillars you use to jump on are falling into place right in front of you. Ooh. Like they are falling down. Like, oh, but that would be epic for this, right? That's a great idea. That's a great idea. So, let's say... Perhaps I should start over here. So let's say you have indeed these blocks falling down, but they are getting higher and higher and higher and higher. And you're like, whoa! What happened? Are you okay, Unity? What the hell happened there? You scared the crap out of me, Unity. Why is the scene view separated? Huh. Wow, that was really weird. So perhaps even this one like falls down, but like you're here and imagine there's no blocks right here, right? But it would be like, and this one would fall, and this one would fall, and then this one would fall down, and perhaps even another one. And if you're too late, then it like smashes you. Ah, that is really epic. Oh, I like that. I love that idea. I'm going to use that because I think it's amazing. I am going to make these blocks a different size because I think this is a bit too chaotic. Chris, welcome. Welcome to the stream. I am using Unity's own Pro Builder. It's basically a Unity package that you can install if you search for Pro Builder, and it will add these really amazing tools to your Unity version. Rob Lang asks, please tell me that your audio is you making the noises. Oh. Did I do any noises? I think... Well, the fact is that I have been recording some of the audio things. I'm not really sure if I did any actual effects, actually. But, you know, actually what's crazy is I do believe that it actually helps making the levels and the game better. Like if there's no sound effects, there are sound effects, of course. I just have the audio muted because it's basically just jumping sounds and stuff like that. There's no environmental sounds at all. But if you're, or at least for me, right? If I'm trying to imagine how something is working and the feeling that I have with it, I want to have like, all right, then I'm walking here and I'm going. It sort of gives off a vibe, right? And it's I don't know. I think the vibe and the feeling that you have is really important when coming up with creative ideas and doing stuff like this. Yeah, I like this idea. So you could actually like dodge them, and shake the level, but you could also, if you're fast enough, you could jump on them. Yeah, I like that. And then over here, a big block. Like everything caves in. Like, yeah, then you need to go back. And then everything is coming together. It's like I'm always coming in the gym. Yeah, Chris, you're totally right. Audio is so important. It really is. It really is. But I do also feel that, like you're saying, like people notice like bad video quality is something that is better than... No, I did say it the other way around. So terrible audio is worse than having terrible video. I think that is also partly due to the fact that a lot of people have YouTube videos and other videos in their background. Right? I'm not sure how many of you are actively watching or also working on your own game while you're following this stream. So then the audio becomes like so much more important, right? And you want to have something which is clear and understandable. And I also think a lot of people, myself included, are a little bit more sensitive to bad audio, right? I'm very, although I am very vocal myself and making a lot of noises, if there's like something ticking, like when I'm in bed and there's something outside that is creaking or flapping in the wind, I'm like instantly annoyed and I cannot sleep, right? So I do have something like that. And I think that's for a lot of people with bad audio quality and cracks and stuff like that. And like at the beginning of the stream, I had a little bit of an echo. Sorry guys, was the monitoring. That like really turns people off, right? Then I like it, Rob. Is that really true that Liam Neeson and Ewan McGregor during the Star Wars movie kept making lightsaber noises? That would be fun. I like that. And I could imagine that if you're making a movie, that would actually be super annoying if someone did the because your mouth is moving, right? Oh, I actually, I do here have my own lightsaber. Made it myself. I'm a little bit of a Star Wars geek myself, but I did not know that fact. As a matter of fact. All right. Blah, blah. Let's get back to this. This could actually be a lot taller then. I do sort of want to move it back down because the tunnel, of course, is not infinitely high. It's not infinitely high, so I do want to move it down at some point. Yeah. And of course, we're going up really quickly. Maybe something... Ooh, that's actually the perfect length. Could be a little bit higher, that's fine. You guys need to channel my nitpickiness. If I'm getting too detail oriented, you guys need to yell out that I should stop that. It's not about doing detailed stuff yet. I actually liked the idea of enemies throwing stuff down from like a banister. Banister? No, that's not what it's called. Like a platform next to the wall. I think I will add back in the wall. Could actually use the same stuff. It's probably going to be the same assets anyway. I do need to check where I am. Oh, yeah, so we're not even a third way done, and this took 1.5 hours. That's the way it is. That is the way it is. I'm curious to know. All right, so I'm actually going to move the spawn point again, because otherwise we'll keep. So we'll call this area done for now, and this is all for now, right? so what I've been doing, actually before the stream started, was I didn't know how far we're gonna go, but I like made these debug level loaders. So basically from front to back, you could play through the game. Only half of the game would look exactly as the screen you're seeing, you're looking at right now. Empty gray slabs. But you can play through it front to back. So now I am actually greyboxing everything. Then I'm going to be like making all the challenges or doing all the colors first, like we did at the start of the stream. Then we're going to do all the challenges, so actually making everything move. Then I'm going to do combat and do NPCs and stuff like that, and add like cutscenes. But everything's still in the greybox version. And then at that point, add all the collectibles, stuff like that, and you would actually have a real alpha that you can play from front to back. At least level-wise, because of course an actual alpha, I guess, would also have art in it, or at least part of it. So yeah, that's what I'm working towards right now. Can you get up here? Oh, you can actually. So, I'm dead. She would do like the like the Terminator thumb. Like that would actually be very cool. So I have to think about this, right? So there's enemies top of here throwing stuff down. So then in this case you would actually or you would go past the enemies. No, but I don't want you to go past those enemies. I want you to kill those enemies. That is what I want you to do. So what would be nice? Ooh, what is a nice idea is actually to make a an S loop. So, all right. Watch this. Let's see if you understand what I mean. So let's make a platform right here. Yeah. Welcome everyone. It's always nice to see people still joining in. I am very grateful and happy for every single one of you watching, following me. You know, I'm not streaming for hundreds of people, but I always feel that you guys come up with good ideas and help me stay focused and concentrated and help me make awesome stuff. So thank you. So it's always nice to see more people coming in. Yeah, so let's do it really quickly. And then let's say I have one over here. And then let's say we have this one over here. Over here. But this one is much higher. Yeah, this is not particularly good, but it gets the idea across. And then we have a platform somewhere over here. This is not play mode. This is play mode. Hey, welcome everyone. There's even more people coming in. I was just thanking everyone watching and that I'm always happy to have new people join in and come watch me and help me focus. So welcome everyone. But what I was saying is have a S loop in it. So like an S. Not like an ass, like an S. Again demonetized. Oh no, I think you can say that word, right? Yeah, but the idea is that I cannot go over here. No, or at least, am I sure? No, so I cannot go over there. So I need to go over here. Now, I have enemies on top of this ridge throwing bombs at me, and I'm like, ah, but I cannot go here because the green stuff kills me. So I need to go on top of this one, which is a little bit rough. I need to fix that. It's actually too high. It was not too high because I was on there. But now I can get onto the ridge. Then I can kill those baddies. And then from this one, I can actually go on to the next one, which is way too far. But that sort of creates an S, right? Because I'm going this way, and then I'm going up, I'm going this way, and then I'm going that way again. So it could actually also, that might actually be really cool to do. Let's see if we can. Let's see if we can do that. So this jump is way too rough. I can heighten this one perhaps a little bit. Put this one. Maybe this one's part of this platform. At this point, doesn't really matter. I'm not really sure what these platforms are gonna look like. It's the idea that counts. And so now I could actually have a secondary floor, which is sort of a walkway from this one. That might actually be really cool. I'm getting ideas here. Let's say there's a walkway over here. Because tunnels have walkways, right? I'm not really sure if you're actually going to be able to see what you are doing. If this one's going to be in the way. In the way. Let's see what happens. I also don't think you can jump on this. So it would be cool if there was a... I don't get these stairs, man. It's like the first corner you put down, it doesn't... Oh, sorry guys, I hit the mic. This just doesn't make sense. Stairs, the way you place them, they don't make stairs. No, they don't make sense. I think this would be better to place it a little bit further out. And I have these kind of stairs right now, but they can be like any sort of stairs, right? So now they look a bit weird because, well, they just have those bottoms. Let's see if the platforms are in the way. This already feels a bit awkward. But it also shows you where you can go. I think that is actually okay. I can always come up with something because this is a problem. Maybe not for now. Can I actually go there? No, I cannot. Bam, 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 bam. Kill the baddies because I have to go past the baddies. And then I can go over here. Perhaps there's also baddies over here. And now I can go over here. And now I am right here. So now it is an actual proper S. Because at first it wasn't. Right? So you have like this way. Then you go up. Then you go back. And then you go back. So that creates like an S. I know you're actually... Most people start at the top of the S. But it's an S. You get the point. And so now we are here. Now we are here, and now we can go down. But we cannot see where we can go down. So we need to fix that, because you cannot have people just drop midair. Why not? Because people don't like that. And here there could be all sorts of stuff. I actually like the idea of here, well, not being a stairs, of course, but here being like a special pickup. so that if you backtrack a little bit, then you can get over there. Or even better, if you jump off here, then you know there's like this shortcut or something like that. I like to do, yeah, stuff like that. I like this walkway. Perhaps, oh, perhaps we should do a walkway somewhere over there. Doesn't really matter. All right, so I think, so if we have stuff falling down, that is mostly the bombers, and we have some small areas where there will be blast beetles. I don't really have much areas where those big drones will be fighting you, so I guess that would be here. That would be nice. It might actually be nice to do sort of a walkway maze. Could be cool. Could also not be cool. So let's see which one it is. I am making no sense, guys. I'm sorry. Let's check it out. It would be cool if you could actually jump. Whoa, 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 whoa. I really need to fix that rule. If you could jump over. Ooh. Pop. Hey, why am I slowing down? That's a bug that has been happening every once in a while. She sort of slows down. It's really weird. Ooh. Ooh, that is a gnarly jump. That is actually a bit too wide. That is like that pro speedrunner stuff. Might actually also be fine. Oh, the timing of that is quite... Ooh. But you can already, of course, cut corners. I kind of like the idea of you here fighting one of those. Yeah, but where are you going to go from here? I kind of like this, but then be more like that. Like this is a collectible, right? So I kind of like this. I'm not really sure why it would be like this. So perhaps in like final art something, there would be like a pillar going through here or something like that. I also like the idea of these bridges like being crushed by falling debris, so that you also have to, like, they will fall down, stuff like that. I kind of like that. Yeah, I like that. So yeah, what happens when you fall down? Well, you die. Perhaps it's a bit too high. Maybe this one is two-part. So this is... kind of like this idea. I like this one a bit... this height a bit better. There's like a big drone here. I think that's cool. Could use some stairs over here. Well, it's close enough. Then I think I want to have, because we have some small battles, right? I think it would be nice to have sort of a large battle with no platforming in it. Because now you have been bombarded, you have been... also thinking about it, no, we're not nearly halfway through. So one of the things that in this level that I was talking about, like at the beginning, is when you get from Triton's Reach, you enter into one of these tunnels, right? And there's these explosions from these enemies, but of course they have been feeling those explosions as well, like the survivors living in Triton's Reach. And so at some point they send in a recon team, right, to sort of check out what's been causing all these tremors, all these large earthquake things. And that recon team never gets back, never gets recovered. And so at some point in the level, you actually run into one survivor of that recon team, and you need to rescue him or her by blowing some stuff up. But I think I want to do that like somewhere here. So something I was thinking was that it was sort of a maintenance room, which is somewhere right here, that was cut off because there was like a big collapse. So there's like a giant block of something here, and you need to actually use those bombs to blow that up and to rescue that person. Chris asks if that is game lore. Yes, that is, I guess, a little bit of game lore. Yeah, I think so. I have actually written most of the game's lore already. So one thing that I did during my holiday, which I think is a good exercise as well, and it made me realize a lot of things, was I basically wrote out the game start to finish. Like all the things the player would do, all the characters they would run into, all the missions they had to do, all the pickups they had to pick up, and basically connect the story A through Z. And that really made me think about what is the player going to do, where does the player need to go, what would make sense as a transition, why would the player go here, what would make sense for a player to see here based on their previous experiences and where I want to go. So the game at this point is, I guess, fully fleshed out. So that's actually really exciting. It also made me realize a couple of things. And one of the things is that I might scratch a couple of things. But I will talk about that in a upcoming devlog a bit further, because I have to wrap my head around that. But I think I wanted to do too much different things. So I have to cut back on some of the features. Can I now? No. Yeah, so this is a shortcut, but that actually does not exist in the game, because the idea would of course be that this one collapses and you have to this one also collapses and you have to rescue or do the pro bounce. All right, but let me play through the whole thing. The lore seems very contrasted to the current theming. I'm curious as to what you mean with that. I shouldn't make it drop too. Alright, so here there will be like a battle. There might actually also be something. Now I do feel, so there's been some lore. So this is one spot of exploration. So if I'm going back to like coloring stuff, there is, of course, not... Chris, you're at a very whimsical and light-hearted gameplay loop with a very different lore and story, which seems completely different. The story actually is light-hearted gameplay loop. Well, that's of course one way of looking at it. I would not necessarily call it light-hearted. I would call it simple, I guess. But yeah, the story is also in some way about Carly finding out... I don't want to spoil too much. But in one way, you're right. Yeah. But I would not necessarily call the gameplay loop light-hearted, because you're still beating up robots, right? Rescuing people. So I would call it simple. That I would agree with. But yeah, the lore and the story, I would like it to have an impact and not necessarily be like very hollow, I guess. I would like it to have some meaning as well. It's not going to be super heavy, so perhaps the way that I'm talking about it right now is making it seem more deep than it is. But we'll find out. But I do want the story to say something and to tell something about Carly and about what she's going through as well. But I don't want to spoil too much. So I would just say, Chris, when the game's finally out, let's pick it up, let's play it, and let's see if indeed the two don't match. I think they will. I think they will match. I think so. Yeah. Okay. But one thing I was feeling is that after this battle, I feel like I want to have some time to do a little bit of exploration. Just some light platforming, just some... So there's a battle here. If I make this a giant drop, you can never go back. I haven't necessarily given that much thought. Whoa, it's happening again. Why? Yeah. I do like some squash and some stretch and some juice and fun, and yeah. I think I get what you're saying, but don't worry, it's not going to be like a drama or anything like that. I think it will still be within the light reading category of stories. But I do want to tell a story. That is very much something that I am setting out to do. Yeah. So we have a battle right here. Might actually be nice to have some destruction here. Perhaps you need to blow up something so that you can get down here. That might actually be... That might be really nice. Have some destruction here. Perhaps a whole wall will come down. And we'll create a... ramp for you to walk on. That way you can also always go back. I think it would be nice for you to always go back. So we're sort of out of the metro tunnel. This is more of a maintenance tunnel, right? So perhaps there's sort of a network of pipes here. That might actually be pretty cool. And this area I want to feel them more, a bit more like explory. Explory. That's not a word, Lex. I know. But just some light-hearted platforming. Well, now I'm using the word light-hearted. Got me there. No, but the platforming is indeed a bit, well, maybe even a bit Ratchet and Clanky. Yeah, Profound. The collectibles will definitely tell part of the story. Keep in mind, though, the collectibles that I have in the game right now, or at least in like the demo, were very much placeholder. But yes, they will most definitely be a very big part of the story. Yes. Let me move up the spawn. But no, let's play through this section one more time. Let's see if it feels like this is something that I still think feels a bit weird to jump underneath this platform. So it might actually, well, we are greyboxing after all. So let's take everything I have right here. Let's move it down a notch. Let's just add one more platform. You know, that's why it's, yeah, that's better. I would actually like this one to be a bit further out. All right, get that difficult collectible right here. Ooh, wow, that's actually a really big jump. Beat up the bad guys. Perhaps beat up some more bad guys. All right, walk right here. Debris falls down. Perhaps every time there's like this big tremble, because like I said at the beginning, there's like this big worm tunnel digging monster, robot, it's not a monster in here. So perhaps every time there's like this big screen shake and then something falls down and this crossbeam falls down, and you need to jump. Whoa, dodge, and then you're here. Here's like a big battle. You do the battle, you don't die, of course. Then here you destroy a wall and it falls down. Oh, I made these way too big. And then you're here in this section, which I thought was nice if it had sort of the feeling of pipes and stuff like that, but these are way too big. That's Sam, you welcome. Why does everyone always do gray boxes for prototyping and not pink? Well, that's a very good question. I actually have no idea. Oh wait, that's a different one. I do have some white and some green in here. Honestly, I think it doesn't. What's that? Yeah, that one. It doesn't matter which color your gray boxes are. I think it does look unfinished, though, which I think is the whole point. And perhaps even making something pink also makes it sort of look not finished, or not finished, if you get what I'm saying. Like the green here already sort of looks like toxic water, which, you know, it is supposed to be. That's, I guess, why I made it green. So maybe even giving it the slightest color already makes it something less than very much not finished. Could be. Could be. Oh, I could, of course, I could make them a different color. What time is it? Oh, it's already 10 o'clock. I was actually planning on doing like 2 hours for tonight. But I do want to finish, I at least want to finish up to here, right? So let's take that as a goal. Then I think we're at 1/3 of the level. 1/3. 1/3. Only need 2 more streams to finish it. All right. So the size of these are much better now. Come on. Wait, I made it? That was janky. Janky AF. No, this is way too high. Nope, 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 nope. Wait. So that's way, 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 way too high. I think actually the distance, like, I get what you guys are saying. Like, this is not, I cannot see shish. Oh, but it's a whole wall. I don't want the whole wall to be like... So the idea was this be a safe, explorative section. So there's no threat here. So let's make this back wall blue. I did not have the whole thing selected. All right, all right, all right, all right. All right, all right, all right. No, zoom out a little bit. Now we're talking. Nope. So this one was up way too high. Oh, that's of course because this one is 5 units. 5 units. Ah, so Carly can jump 5 units, but 6. 3, 6. Huh? I thought we established that she could jump 3. Oh, double jump on it. Yeah. But can she walk underneath here? That's an interesting conundrum. Can she? Yes, she can actually. How much room? How much space does she have? She has tons of space left. Oh, this is Wrench the Platformer. Love it. It's a 2D platformer. Now, look at this. Wow, that walking animation actually looks really weird from this side. Wow, this is really weird. Let's quickly go back to this. So, seeing that actually makes me want to use the 3D aspect of it. Is this too... I love it. Is this 2D in my 3D bullet hell platform? Yes. Yes. I will never do it again. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Actually, wait. Now I was too focused on that, but I actually do think... how far does that one go up? It goes up from the top, right? Like so, something like that. So we can actually use the 3D to our advantage because these are, of course, 3D objects. So let's... I actually, in the new... You guys haven't seen that one yet. Or at least, well, was it? I think it was... Part of it was in the video. The new Sunken City level also has a large section with pipes and pipes moving around, which I think was really, really cool. So I can use some of that in this area as well. But this way you can actually still go burp, 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 burp. But I would then, so this one should actually be here. Or do I want to have this one start over here? That might actually be better. I don't think I need that one. All right. Right, you can have it be something like this, and then because it's pipes, but now I'm focusing on details again. Somebody stop me. Should have it be like this, right? So the pipe goes into the floor, and these have like, I don't know, valves on them and do water stuff. So of course, one thing in the camera would like stop here, and then Carly would walk towards like the edge of the screen, so you would never see like this bottom edge that you're seeing at the floor. Oh, I like this. Could actually here also have like a section. Oh, I'm feeling I might be doing a little bit too much different stuff, but that's also the charm of what I'm trying to make. Could have like sort of a precision walk section. Oh well, nah. I just want you to walk around here a bit, explore a little bit, like go down here. This area should be like a little exploring area. So this pipe should actually be the reason how you get out of this tunnel. That might actually be really cool. So you would have to eventually make your way up here, but perhaps there's like one of these pipes like all the way up here, because there is a wall here. And this pipe sort of drains. That might then, that leads me into something different. Ooh, I could even have like a small waterfall here of toxic water. A toxic waterfall. TLC would love it. So, then even like so, and we just have to imagine the waterfall. Nice, right? Because we're only going to work towards that piece. And since this is platforming towards the camera, I want to have a lot more platforms than just a couple. Does that make sense? Could that possibly be? Well, maybe there's like drains somewhere, stuff like that. I don't really know. All right. Well, let's make my skinny section. All right, we're doing a skinny. We're doing a skinny section. This is actually a bit too far. Camera-wise, this would actually be a wasted space. But I like the idea of you getting in here. So how would I do that? Basically like this. Yeah. And now I don't want it stuck. Just like that. Something like that. Yeah, well, that's one problem. But this, I think, is a little bit too high. For Carly to jump on. Hello, I want this face. Thank you. Oh, they're all getting a bit crooked. Should be good. Like so. Like that. And then like that. And there could be all sorts of stuff down here that you could explore. So let me check that out. First, check out the way it looks. There you go, exploring. Oh, does she bump her head? Yes, she does. So you might be able to find some lore here. I might actually zoom in the camera as soon as you get over there. Yes. All right, let's see if I can get up there. I think I might move this one up a little bit. Right. Ah, she can. Oh, I like this. I like it. Oh. Poof. And then you drop down. Get to see those platforms. Ooh, this one's invisible. This is going to be a scary jump. People are not going to like making this jump because they cannot see the platform. So I know it's there. So we need to fix that. People are not going to like that. People are also not going to like this one. So we can move that up a little bit. This could be in the waterfall. Like so. All right. 2 hours 15. Ah, stuff like this always takes so much time, right? And you can bet that I have been planning this level in my head for already some time, although all the things that we've done tonight was completely random. But I've been thinking about stuff like this. All right, let's do a full playthrough before I call it a night. Ooh, yes. More waterfalls. All right, let's do a full run through. Why is it looking so yellowish? All right, so this Oh, can we do that? Yes, we can. Let's. Ooh, let's save. When's the last time I saved? All right, let's start from Triton's Reach. So you're here in the submerged subway station. There's going to be like lots of shelters here, and there are some characters here, and there's, well, all sorts of stuff. And so you first need to go up here because they have been hearing these tremors, and you need to investigate. All right, so you enter that tunnel. You get in here. There are bots here throwing stuff down at you, so you need to kick their butt. Butt kicking. Then there's some light exploration here, grabbing some pickups, grabbing some crates, perhaps finding some clues. Right, you have to go here. Ooh, toxic water. Ooh, am I not able to get that? Here, I already see at the top of my screen here a glorious pickup looming. I think with art, there's more battles right here. There's more battle right here. There were actually bots throwing stuff down at me, but because I saw that glorious pickup, I want to go here and I want to battle them. And I want to get that glorious pickup. Yay! Can I roll across this? Nope. Oh, here at the top of the stairs, maybe the camera zooms in, shows like a giant drone shooting stuff at me. So I'm here in the air fighting it. Boom, 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 boom. Alright. It is dead. Bots everywhere killing me. I go through this hallway. It is empty, but as soon as I start walking, the screen starts shaking and stuff starts falling down. Big lumps. And I can jump on top of them to dodge everything. And I make my way down here because I have to dodge. And then all of a sudden, this whole thing collapses. And I need to go back. So I will have to go this way. Here, I have another battle. Alright, more toxic water from this platform. Bombs are being thrown at me. And I'm like, kill everyone. I go this way. More tremors, more screen shake, more bombs. And it is at this point, I believe, now the player would see, wait, there's another glorious pickup here. So now I have to go back. What? All the way back? Yes. Yeah, that might be a bit too punishing. Although the first time, well, there would be something there you don't need, but perhaps want. So yeah, then you would have to go back. Alright, so you start walking. As soon as you hit this part of the bridge, there's a screen shake and everything crashes down. Oh no, that also crashes down. This one also crashes down. You have to be quick. Now, there's another battle here. Battle of the wits. And this wall needs to be destroyed, broken down. Perhaps there's like wooden boards everywhere. So you have to hack it down. You can make your way to this, I don't know, boiler room. Since that is what you're actually going to do, that's your mission. You need to, oh wait, this jump is a bit awkward. You need to turn back on the water to flood the other part of Triton's Reach so you can take a vessel back to the factory. A boat, actually. Because there's no electricity anywhere. At least, not yet. This jump was a bit awkward, but I think it's... Is it doable with a double jump? Yes, it is. That's difficult, though. So you make your way over here. Perhaps there are some nice pickups, and there's old rubbish, and perhaps even hints. Oh! See, it's getting late. Ah! What am I doing? What are you doing, Lex? What are you doing? Of course, normally you couldn't actually, or at least on the bottom side of the screen, you couldn't fall off because there's basically a wall over there. So now, I get into this part. Ooh, you know what actually would be cool? Hey, video game music. I'm sorry, we're just wrapping up. It actually would be cool if these platforms were moving towards you because it's like flowing water. Oof. That is actually pretty badass. Alright, so now we're here, and I guess here there will be another battle. And this took me 5 minutes and 27 seconds with sort of speed running through it. speed running through it and not actually fighting bots and dying and retrying stuff. So that is why I say the first like length gray box, so this one that I do first, I think 4 minutes. If you just walk from here to here and have it take 4 minutes, that is, I think, a good length for a level that will eventually take a new player about, I think, 20 minutes. 20 minutes to half an hour. That's, I think, the gameplay that you are going to get from a full level like this. Unless, of course, you're speed running, right? Because I was sort of speed running, and this section took me 5.5 minutes. Right? So that is relatively good, actually. Alright, Nuggets. I am going to call it there. I'm going to call it a night. It's actually half an hour. We got in a really good flow there. And I'd like to thank everyone who was watching and who has watched and who is watching for being here, helping me out with some ideas. And I hope that everyone is also working on their own game and having their projects open and having just as a productive time as I was having tonight, because that is one of the reasons I love doing these live streams, because they're super productive. Look at all the work that we've done. This is actually feeling amazing, and it has some amazing new ideas and some amazing things that I absolutely love. It is still a gray box. Things might completely change, but that's why we're doing this, right? So that we can get this, once that it's at the next step where it's actually sort of interactive, we can get it into the hands of the players, because that is the most important thing. And every once in a while I drop a build on my Discord server. So in the link below, there's also a link to my Discord server. If you would like to play a build every once in a while, consider joining that. Thank you very much for being here. And I hope that everyone has a great morning, afternoon, night, wherever you are. A great day and a great time game deving. And I hope to see you all in the next stream. So thank you all for watching. Good night.